Hello traders, welcome to Akinworld Trading Institution. Today we'll be looking at Euro Australian dollar, Euro Australian dollar, Euro Australian dollar, and currently, in order to get the overall direction of the market and to see what the institutions are doing, judging from what we are looking at on the chart, technically we would have to move to the higher time frame where we make our analysis. We'll begin our analysis from the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame. The monthly time frame. And when you look at Australian dollar, Euro AUD, you will notice that the institutions are more interested in buying the Australian dollar over the euro, and the overall direction for this market is a sell has been pushing to the downside for a while now, and you don't want to trade against the institutions. This is what they are doing currently. Although we have a demand zone right about here, around here, we have a demand zone, and the market is approaching a very good demand zone. It has even tapped into the demand zone already, but if you refine it lower, I think you still have some space to push down. But the market doesn't just turn around immediately and all of those things. It moves around gradually if need be. So firstly, why we are on the monthly time frame is to get the overall direction of the market. Where is the market going to? What zone is the market approaching? What zone is the market approaching? And now market moves from zone to zone. We have the euro Australian dollar here, and it is moving from this zone currently back to this demand zone here. And when it gets to this demand zone, we'll judge fundamentally and see the strength of the euro, if it's more juicy for institutions to long it. But from my end, I am not sure this zone is going to hold, but I'm not saying it is. That's what's going to happen now, but due to my fundamental analysis over what's going to happen with the euro is the euro area is giving a deflationary data, and that is bad for the economy. It's giving a deflationary data, and that is bad for the economy. And when you look at it from the Australian dollar perspective, the Australian dollar is also their inflation is really high, around 3.8, when they have a target of 2 to 3%. And for the euro area, their inflation target is 2%, and currently they are reading a deflationary number of 1.7, and that is not good for the economy. Both economies are still struggling, but I feel like, from the look of things, the Australian dollar is gaining its balance, and it is more juicy for the institutions to go short on it over the euro, or buy the Australian dollar over the euro. They are more interested in buying the Australian dollar over the euro. And so as traders, we want to position ourselves at a place where we can short the market and join the institutions to have the smooth ride to the downside. Overall market direction from the monthly time frame, as you can see, for about 3 to 4 months, the market has been pushing 1, 2, 3, 4 months. It has been pushing to the downside, and it is approaching a demand zone currently. But the market will not just turn and start going up all of those just like that. So we have to position ourselves, where can we join this market to roll down to the downside, to push down to the downside. So we're looking at the weekly time frame, the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame. So there is a zone here. After refining, we have a clear demand zone right about here. Right about here, we have a demand zone. And the market moved into this zone few months ago and rallied back to the upside, and this is also a zone. We're marking this spot out. This is also a zone. This is also a zone. This is also a zone, and we'll be working with these two currently. This is a demand zone. This is a demand zone, yeah. But since the market has not gotten into our demand zone yet, and we'll be looking to still short the market, yeah, to the downside, to the downside, to the downside. So from the monthly time frame, we notice that the market is pushing aggressively to the downside. From the weekly time frame, as you can see, the market is still pushing aggressively to the downside. So where can we position ourselves as traders in order to sell this market? Because that's what I'm currently seeing on this chart. That's what I'm currently seeing on this chart. I think around this area is also a Fibonacci retracement level. Around this area, 50% Fibonacci retracement level around this side. So we'll be looking at this market from the daily time frame to daily time frame if we are to refine this demand zone. That is now a supply zone. So from the weekly time frame, we will be looking at this. We'll be interested in this supply zone here. Once the market gets to rallies into this supply zone here, I'll be looking to short the market back to the downside. Back to the downside. So let's look at the daily time frame. Let's look at the daily time frame. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This is going to be a very, very nice trade. This is going to be a very, very nice trade. About 531 pips. About 531 pips. So when this market gets into this zone, if it rallies up into this zone, then I would want to take a short back to the downside where you can have your take profit one around this point, and be very, very careful about this demand zone here. Be very, very careful about this demand zone, but I am very certain that this market is going to reverse from this point back to the downside, and looking for entries. We'll be scaling down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame. Wow. If the market should rally into this area, I would want to take a short back to the downside, and mind you, when you see a pin bar, candles that are signifying a short, you can take your shots. You can sell to the downside immediately, and also mind the session you are trading with. Understand? Make sure it's around the London session or New York session during the day. Understand? Once you see your pin bar or your bearish engulfer in this zone that I drew out, you can take your shots back to the downside, taking a short position back to the downside. Understand? Taking a short position back to the downside. For as many of you that will be asking, where will I put my stop loss and all of those things? Immediately above your reversal candle. Your stop loss. Don't risk above 1 or 2% of your account. Yeah, your capital is very, very, very important. This is the forex market. A lot can happen. You understand? We only make right analysis, and we just hope we are correct. But most of the times we are correct. This is just 518 pips, and it is a positive one. It is going to be a positive one. So if you get the market reverse into this zone, I would want to short the market back to the downside. Once again, I want to welcome you to Akinworld Trading Institution. And don't forget, be guided. You look at the market from a monthly direction to get the overall direction of the market, and once you get the overall market direction, you scale down to the weekly time frame. Look at the nearest supply or demand zone where you can stay to, that is more attractive to the institutions, or where they would want to sell from. You understand? If they are selling, you will also want to sell. You don't have much liquidity, you don't have more money than the institutions. You understand? So you don't want to trade against them. You want to do what they are doing, and that is the overall direction. That is what has been happening for months in the market. The market has been pushing down to the downside, so you don't want to start buying against them aggressively immediately. You understand? Don't let them eat your money. Let us make this money together. The money is all is enough to go round, to go round, to go round, to go round. So trade wisely, trade with the institutions, and mind you, the forex market moves due to fundamentals. What is the fundamentals saying? Currently, the euro is growing weak. The euro is growing weak, and Australian dollar is still gaining its balance. We have all of these things sorted out in our trading institution. When you come around to, you know, trade with us, our Telegram channel is in our bio, where you can go and join as well to get more trading tips and trading ideas. Have a wonderful trading week ahead.